MARZ Air Race. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Russian Air Race Championship for the Moscow Aviation Repair Factory Cup at Neba Sky Festival, located today at beautiful Chornaya Airfield outside of Moscow, Russia. Our air race today is brought to you by the Ministry of Sports and the official partner of the Russian air races, Sto Lato. My name is Lauren Harrison, and together we will be watching the fastest, most skilled, precise, exciting, and extraordinary pilots maneuver and navigate their aircraft through the pylons at high speeds and high G-forces, low altitude, and low tolerance for mistakes. Are you ready? It's time for air racing. And today, we have a special surprise for you. A historical day today, folks, for air racing. The first time in Russian and modern air race history, we will have an all-women's air race in the Yak-52, the legendary aerobatic airplane that almost all world champions started in. So today, we will have a mixed group of pilots, both in Yak-55 and Yak-52. Our first pilot will be flying today in the Yak-52, Valentina Patsiluyeva. Folks, today is a beautiful day. We have sunshine, slight breeze, but overall, it is an absolutely perfect day for air racing. As you can see right now, we have a radio-controlled jet flying for our crowd today. This is an incredible, incredible festival. This is an incredible festival bringing together families with everything connected with aviation. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to bring you this broadcast because of, again, the Ministry of Sports and the official partner of the Russian air races, Sto Lato. As you can see, the pylons are standing. They are ready for the aircraft to fly through them at incredible speeds. And welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Russian Air Race Championship. And today, we have for you not only the greatest pilots flying through pylons, but as you can see right now, remote-controlled aircraft. Not only regular remote-control aircraft, folks, these are jets. This is incredible. So this is a little bit of a appetizer for you before the air races start. As you can see today, The wind is not blowing too hard, so this is going to be really, really useful for the pilots. We have the pylon set up today. It's a very compact track today, folks. 3 sets of pylons today. A little bit smaller than usual, but no less difficult. In fact, I would say the difficult factor is actually increased. And wow, look at the maneuver. This is unreal, folks. This is a remote-controlled jet doing things that a regular jet couldn't even dream of. It has incredible power-to-weight ratio. This small jet engine, gas turbine inside, powering this extremely light composite radio remote-controlled jet. So here we go. Look at the pylons there, folks. That is a distance of only about 25, maximum 30 meters between the pylons. They are actually closer than normal, so it's going to take incredible skill for the pilots. And there she is. There is our first pilot, Valentina Patsalova, making her Russian air race debut. In the back seat as a safety pilot is Master Sport International class, an absolute World Aerobatic Glider Champion 2013, Mr. Vladimir Ilinsky. The canopy is closed. She's checking her instruments, making sure everything is in order. She's getting herself mentally prepared. She's focused. She is ready to go and lead off the opening of the Russian Air Race Championship here at Festival Neba Sky Festival at the Moscow Aviation Repair Factory Cup outside of Moscow. And we can see the Yak-55s are ready and waiting for their turn. We're going to have a kind of a tag team today. The Yak-52 will fly, then the Yak-55, then the Yak-52, and so forth. So it's going to be a great mix. But as you know, all of these aircraft are powered by the legendary, brutal, yet beautiful M14 engine. 9 cylinders, 360 horsepower, some of them with a little bit more. But the name of the game isn't just power, it's how you fly. You have to fly with precision, with preciseness, and you have to fly exactly the shortest, most direct line in order to get the best time. So again, it's not just power, it's not just speed, it's tactic. It's those little details with every input you make on the controls, pulling hard in the vertical, pulling up in between. This race is won and lost in the turns. Anyone can fly straight and level fast. That's not hard. What's difficult is to make the best, shortest radius turn in the least amount of time and keep your energy and airspeed while at the same time pulling G-forces up to 9 Gs today. And here's our list. Valentina Patsalova, Alexander Vasilyev in the Yak-55, Oleg Larionov, Ksenia Greenberg making her Russian air race debut, Sergei Gurov, the champion of the Great Victory Cup in Volgograd, Maxim Bukayov today making his air race debut, Yevgenia Yevseeva, a student pilot who's loved aviation for many years and making her debut, and Vladimir Anguladze bringing up the rear at number 8 today. So folks, we have a very special treat again. I want to repeat that this is the first time in modern air race history, both in Russia and world air race history, that we will have a women's air race between not only women, but men. We're all together today. We're putting the women against the men, and the women are flying the Yak-52. So it's, again, not just airspeed and time, but it's also about maneuverability. Today, for you, we have an exciting event because, again, we only have about 25-meter distance between the pylons. The wind is blowing from the west, but it's not too hard. It's not too bad today, so it's not going to create too many problems for the pilots, but still, they have to keep everything in mind as they prepare to fly through these pylons at over 300 kilometers per hour. 25 meters off the ground, and as we can see, we have a local aircraft departing, a Piper Saratoga 2, a great aircraft, very wonderful family aircraft, and it's taking off. This is not just an air show, this is a flying-in festival. As you can see, the flight line, we have seaplanes, we have helicopters, and here he goes. He's pulling back on the yoke. It's one of my favorite airplanes to fly. I last year flew in this aircraft all the way to Siberia and back to Moscow. It's an incredible aircraft, very comfortable, built in Vero Beach, Florida. Okay, let's talk about Valentina Patsalova. She's a winner of the Moscow Region Aerobatics Championship in 2019 in the known free program, a multiple-time champion and medalist of the Ivanova Region Aerobatics Championship, and she's also competed in landing accuracy competitions since 2014. And there she goes. Oh, okay. Her canopy came open on takeoff. Folks, safety is the name of the game. First things first. So she's quickly closed her canopy. She's not missed a beat. Full power. And she is off. Look at that. That is what we call professionalism. She doesn't let anything break her focus. And gear. She starts to retract the gear. She's climbing out and getting ready for her first ever race in the Russian Air Race Championship. She began flying in the spring of 2012, and in September of that same year, she made her first solo flight. She didn't waste any time. She flew all summer, and since then, she's continued to fly at the Ivanova Flying Club, and she is absolutely committed to this sport, and she is excited. Let me tell you, she has waited for this moment her whole life, to be able to say that she's going to race against some of the best pilots in the history of aerobatics and air racing championships. As we can see, she's climbing for altitude. The Yak 52 is not as fast as the Yak 55. However, it is extremely maneuverable, and it is the basic training aircraft that all Russian aerobatic pilots, and not only, it's one of the most popular training aerobatic aircraft in the world, with over 3,000 produced. I apologize, over 1,000 produced worldwide, and it has been used in aerobatic championships since the 1960s. This aircraft is extremely strong, and you can put it into any maneuver and you will not break it. It is a perfect training aircraft. So she's going to climb. She's going to dive down on this course. Remember, today's course is a little smaller than normal, only 3 sets of pylons. She'll dive down through the first gate. She'll make a banking left turn to the second gate. And after the second gate, she will pull up into the vertical and do what we call a half loop. A half loop or a half Cuban 8, where she will pull the plane into the vertical until she's upside down. Then she'll roll the plane back over and dive back down in a left bank turn to get back to the home pylon. And then she'll make a very hard and aggressive right pulling G-force turn. So here we go. She is diving in, getting as much airspeed as possible. Again, Valentina is ready to go, and she's diving down through. She's got to keep her wings level, and she makes it through the first gate. Hard bank to the left, wings back level. She dives down, she pulls through on the second gate, pulls up into the vertical, pulling 6 to 7 Gs. She's just over the top. And now she's going to roll it over nice and slowly, not to lose any airspeed. Dive it back down. She's got to make a bank to the left. Look at her using her rudder. She's got to get those wings level, level, and now she pulls up to the left to create some space because it's a compact track and she does not want to overshoot the pylons. Now she's turning back. Already 36 seconds have passed. She's at her maximum altitude now. And what is she going to do, folks? Absolutely right. She's going to trade altitude for airspeed and get as much airspeed as possible as she dives down in a right banking turn. Now the wings are level. Now she's got to pull up and get the nose level through the ponds. Perfect. Perfect. 25 meters altitude, left bank. She's coming right through to the second gate. Pulls hard into the vertical. And she's not doing it exactly straight. She's got a little bit of a left bank to set herself up for the perfect line through the next gate. She rolls over, nose down, slight left banking turn, uses that rudder, the pedal, and through the third gate, and she pulls up very nice and level, no penalties. Oh, a 5-second penalty. The judges have assessed a 5-second penalty. It's all about precise flying, not just airspeed, not just pulling a lot of G's. You have to fly by the rules precisely. And everything we do is in the name of safety. Here we go. She's diving back down to make her final pass through the start gate. She's got lots of speed. She's got the wings level, and she's through. And she pulls up and does a victory roll. Congratulations, Valentina Patsalula. 5-second penalty, but not bad for her first time. So let's review. Let's go back and look at some of the key moments here from Chorny Airfield in Neba. So we see through the first start gate, she turns very quickly immediately after, but you cannot start turning until you've passed through the pylons. And that will be a penalty. We'll see exactly where she got her 5-second penalty. And even here, look at that. The wind is pushing her close to that pylon, but she masterfully goes right back through the center. Again, these pylons are only about 25 meters wide. And with the wingspan of this aircraft, that's leaving you only maybe 3 to 5 meters distance between your wingtip and that pylon. So there is no room for error, folks, if you don't want to hit the pylon. So here we go. Valentina Patsalueva. Great first run. A little bit of nerves, as you could see. 5-second penalty. But that's life. It happens. She's climbed back up. She's cooling off the engine. She's going to get a second try on the course. And whichever try brings the lowest time, she'll get to keep that. So let's see if she can improve. Fix the mental mistakes. She's focusing in. She's got veins of ice today. She is ready to go. Again, she is a champion aerobatic pilot from the Ivanova region. And she is under the instruction of Mr. Vladimir Ilinsky, a master instructor, a world champion glider pilot. And again, Valentina Patsalueva in her first Russian Air Race debut. And the first time we've had in the Russian Air Race Championship women pilots participating. We are so happy. Here she goes, diving back down again with plenty of airspeed, or as we like to call it, plenty of smash. She's diving down. She's got to get the wings level and the aircraft in a low position. Oh, there's a bird flying through the truck, but she carefully maneuvers around him. Listen to the sound of that M14. She pulls up hard into the vertical. Beautiful, beautiful line. 6 positive G's pushing her back in her seat. And look at that. She's a little bit off to the left to set herself up perfectly for the next pylon. Look at that. She's going to now bank a little bit to the left as she dives down, pushes the stick forward, throttle full forward, and she pulls through. Pulls a little bit to the left to create some spacing before she banks and makes a repositioning turn. And oh, again, she's already been assessed a 5-second penalty. Our judges are absolutely looking at every aspect. They have cameras on the pylons and they're able to, in real time, assess penalties. So either her wings weren't level or she started to pitch up before going through the pylons. We're not sure. We'll find out. She's diving down back in, fighting the wind, makes a left bank to set herself up for the second air gate. And here she goes. Beautifully perfect through. Pulls up into the vertical with a slight left bank. We call this, folks, a half loop with a roll, half roll on the top, and she dives back in. Now she's going to pull back on the stick while she's turning and diving. She's got to get the wings level, get the aircraft in a low position. She does very well. Pulls up, and she's flying on her line right now. As you can see, we have forests surrounding this airfield. Everything is very compact. Everything is very close, keeping everything right in front of the audience at all times. So now she's going to dive back in between the 6th gate, 5th and 6th gate. And here we go. She's diving in for her final pass, and she's through. Pulls up and makes another victory roll. 150. So she'll take her time from the first run. It was a better time. Again, 2 5-second penalties. 153.895 and 150.6. Oh, her second time was even faster. There you go. With experience, she's making improvements. So congratulations to you, Valentina. And we're looking forward to your next flight. And we thank you for being a part of the Russian Air Races as the first woman pilot in the Russian Air Race Championship. So looking back, let's look at the key moments. Let's see where we can find where she got her 5-second penalty. Ah, there it was. It looked like she already started her bank, her turn, before she got there. And there you go. You have to go through and then make your bank. But you don't want to waste too much time, because if you don't start your turn as soon as possible, you'll miss the next pylons. You'll overshoot it. And look at through here. She gets right through. Ah, there it was. She started her bank. It's not very noticeable, but between her takeoff and her landing, she has to keep focused on the air race. And between going through the pylon, she unfortunately started her turn. And who's up next, folks? The 2021 Russian Air Race champion, Alexander Vasilyev. He was also 3rd place in the Great Victory Cup in Volgograd 3 weeks ago. He's flying the Yak-55M with an M14 PF engine with 400 horsepower and a 3-bladed propeller. He is a homesick angel today in that plane. It can climb, it can turn, it loves to go fast, it loves to pull G's, and so does Alexander. He is a candidate of Master Sports. He's a member of the Russian national aerobatic team, a silver medalist in the European Championships and all-around in 2021, winner of the European Aerobatic Championship team event in 2021, absolute champion of Russia in aerobatics all-around discipline, advanced class in Usman 2021, and the champion of Russia air sports last year, as I said, in 2020, and also champion of Russia in the known advanced class. He is an absolutely focused pilot. He is one of the most aggressive pilots out here. He's a young gun, up and coming, and he is ready to take his place back on the throne of the Russian Air Race Championship, placing third last time, a disappointing third for him. When he flies, he wants to win. Smoke is on. He is going to dive this aircraft down at a speeds of over 350 kilometers per hour. He's got maximum speed, then he's got to pull up quickly, level the wings, get a level attitude, and he's through. And listen to the roar of that beast. And he's turned, made his left bank, and he has got full power. He's got the pop pulled back a little bit. He pulls straight up into the vertical, into a half loop. He's going to roll it back down. Now he's got to find his orientation to the next pylon. Very nice. Minimal turning. You want to keep the plane straight as possible through the pylon. Now here it is. Here's the bone-crushing 8 to 9G turn. He pulls up into the vertical, back right, back down like he's on a slide. He's got to get this plane level before he goes through the home pylon, and he's through. No penalties. Very clean run. First time through the track. Now it's the second run, and it's about cleaning up any little mistakes and flying your best line. And he pulls up through 6 to 9 Gs right now. He's keeping it. He's even keeping it smoother this time. He kept a lower altitude. He's got to keep it low to the ground, keep his speed up, and he's through the gates, level, no penalties. And this time, oh, look at that. He decided to start pulling back a little bit later and stay a little bit lower. And let's see if he can trade that altitude for airspeed. He comes right back through. Wings, they're level 103.035, victory roll. Excellent, excellent flight. Alexander Vasilyev, first flight today on the course in a Yak 55M. Clean run, most important. But that was just his first run, so he's just getting a feel for the track. Yesterday, they didn't fly. The weather wasn't so good. So today is his first time really getting a feel for this track under real conditions. And 103.035 is not a bad time at all. Not bad at all. Clean run. So here we go. Let's look at the best moments of his run. He brings it through. Look at that. The wind is pushing him to the side, but he puts it right through. He uses his inertia, and he perfectly just slides it right through like butter. I mean, he's just pulling it right through. Your enemy in these air races is aerodynamics, gravity, physics, inertia. And what is he doing here? The more he keeps the plane level and straight and the less control inputs he makes, the faster the plane is going to fly. You don't want to over control. You want to fly smoothly and not use any extra effort on the controls. You don't want to move left and right or up and down too much. You want to keep the plane flying in the line that it wants to go. Let the plane fly itself. Don't fight it. Just let it take you. And that's what you want to do. And it's these little control inputs that make the difference between first place and second place. And Alexander Vasilyev is going for it. Absolutely. All right, power is to the max, throttle to the wall. Smoke is on. He's diving down in at 350 kilometers per hour through the pylons, 25 meters between them. Listen to the sound of that beautiful 400 horsepower engine. And he pulls up in this homesick angel, the Yak 55. Rolls it back over on the half loop. He's diving down back in. Minimal bank to the left. Pulls it back through. Nice, precise right repositioning, climbing turn, and back down on the track where he's pulling 8 to 9 Gs. Now he's got to level off, level wings level, and he's right back through. Already back through the home gate for his second run on the track. His final run for today. Here we go. He's fighting the wind. He's trying to keep it straight. He pulls straight back into the 9G bone-crushing turn. Half roll over the top on the half loop. On the downline, he's trying to get every ounce of airspeed out of this plane on his final turn. Here we go. He's through the 6th gate, and he's pulling hard. He's pulling hard, 9 Gs, but he doesn't want to pull too hard, and he keeps it low and fast right through the home pylon. Wings level, pull up, give us a victory roll. Alexander Vasilyev, you, my friend, are the fastest time today that's been flown. Excellent flight by Alexander Vasilyev. 103, 59.7. Amazing, folks. He bested his first run by almost 4 seconds. He was sandbagging that first run. He was just going for a walk in the park. But his second flight, he was not messing around.
Итак, мы находимся на аэродроме Черный и общаемся здесь с Валентиной Поцелуй. Как оно? Как вообще гонка? Ваше впечатление?
Гонка очень драйвовая, очень скоростная. На низких высотах для меня это был первый опыт подобного полета. И, в принципе, то, что я пролетела эту трассу, это уже удача.
Насколько было сложно проходить трассу? Все-таки компактная.
Да, трасса довольно сложная, но мне не с чем, к сожалению, сравнивать. Участвую первый раз, не видела пока других трасс, но впечатление очень понравилось. Очень понравилась трасса, очень понравилось участие.
Здорово. Может быть, не знаю, можете что-то пожелать нашим
What would you
первым
like to
зрителям?
wish all of our viewers out there? Well, I'd like to wish all of you watching. We want to do the best for you to make it the brightest race, and we hope that you like everything, and we do everything for you. We fly for you. Thank you so much, Valentina. So, great commentary from a pilot who just flew on the track, and yeah, it's a compact course. It's difficult. She had a little bit unlucky 2 runs on the course, 5-second penalties, and now we're looking back at Alexander Vasilyev on his record-setting 59-second run. Incredible second run on the track. I mean, he flew exactly the perfect, effortless line that you want to fly. He flew fast, he flew low, he flew exactly. He was fighting the wind there, as you can see, coming through that home pylon. He had a struggle to keep the wings level, but he did it in time. And then, as soon as he's through the pylon, he's banking the wings left to get him set up on the perfect line for the next pylons. This is not a straight course track. This is a very curved track and in a very short distance between the pylons. So every second counts, every maneuver counts, and he gave us a victory roll at the end. So, up next, we have making his Russian air race debut in the Yak-55. He normally flies the Sukhoi 29, but Mr. Oleg Larionov, as we like to call him, Mr. Russian Elon Musk. He's not just a man who flies in the sky. He's a man with space dreams. He owns a company, a space corporation, Laros. And he is a man who is not just shooting for the stars, he's shooting for space. And he is also going to come back down to our level to fly on the track today. Oleg Larionov, a very wonderful pilot and a very bright personality, born in Pärnu, Estonia. Candidate of Master Sports, a winner of the Russian Championship in Aerobatics in the Yak-52 class 2018, prize winner of the Russian Glider Aerobatics Championship Advanced Class 2020, and his coach is Vladimir Ilinsky, who has brought him in a very short time up to an extremely high level of flying. And today, again, Oleg Larionov will be flying the Yak-55, a little bit slower, a little bit heavier to maneuver than his normal Sukhoi 29, the Red Rocket that he flew in 3 weeks ago in the Volgograd Great Victory Cup. But nonetheless, he's going to fly hard, he's going to fly fast. He not only flies the Yak-55, he also flies the Yak-52. He flies the Sukhoi 29. He's also a helicopter pilot, the Robinson 44. And let me tell you, helicopter pilots make really good airplane pilots. Very exact. He's also an aerobatic glider pilot in the Fox and Swift aerobatic gliders. Anything that flies, he likes to get his hands on. And like I said, he is the president of a space company, Laros Space Corporation, building rockets for the future and for space. But today, he's going to be flying this beautiful Yak-55 rocket and making his debut in the Yak-55. Again, the Yak-55 made its first flight in 1981, debuted in the Russian aerobatic team, and quickly became a world championship aircraft. With its big wing, it creates high lift, its powerful engine, and its extremely powerful and sturdy construction. It's a perfect aerobatic aircraft and perfect for our Russian Air Race Championship. So smoke is on, he's diving down in. Oleg Larionov ready to ride the green and red rocket today, is Yak-55. And through the first home pylon, here he comes. Okay, he's down there, and he flew quite low, almost below the minimum altitude. You can't get below those checkered flag markings. And through the Laros pylon, sponsored by his company, he pulls into the vertical. keeping it nice and smooth. He rolls back over to get his orientation before the next, and he's going to have to turn. He's going to have to bank hard. He's kind of overshotting there. Oh, he's using the rudder. And right there's a little bit of wasted time. And now he's going to pull straight into vertical. As you can see, he's taking a higher line than Alexander Vasilyev. But now he's going to trade all that altitude for airspeed. He went higher, but he's also going to come down a lot faster. Here he goes in the green and red rocket. He's going to dive through the home pylons again. No penalties. Oh, he pulled up a little bit there. He lost a little airspeed, and he's going to pull back up into the vertical. No penalties so far, but I can say he's also not flying the cleanest line today. So let's see. He rolls it back over, dives it back down. He's aiming to the right. Now he's going to bank back to the left to get himself through the pylons. And oh, that was close. He almost didn't keep it level there, but he got it through just at the height of the pylons. Now he's banking it over over a 100-degree bank to get it back down. He's going to dive down back in, but he's got to get the airplane level. Yep, he's already leveling it out. Now he's pushing the nose forward, keeping it level right through the pylons. And he pulls up for his first run through with a victory roll. Good job, Oleg. Not bad for his first run in the Yak 55. Oleg, as I mentioned before, is a very bright personality. He's not only a great pilot, he's a great student of aviation. And let's look at his run again, okay? He's got smoke on, he comes through, and oh, right there, he might have gotten a penalty for that. As you could see, he started his turn, it looked like a bit early, but we'll see what the judges assess. And then he flies through the second gates, pulls into the vertical, and look at as he came back down there, he kind of swayed from side to side, and that, folks, is definitely going to cost you airspeed. That is not the most efficient line. So again, he was flying a loose, we're going to call this a loose line. Not a tight, strict line, but a little bit of a loose line. He was just trying to get his feel for the track, and as you can see, the wind is blowing him from left to right. So he's fighting that wind on the last home pylon. And again there, he came right through the pylons, but again, the rules are you have to come through the pylons with your wings level and your nose level on the horizon. You cannot have any pitch up or pitch down. You have to be exactly straight. So here he goes, his second run. He's going to try to improve upon his first run. He's got smoke on, diving down, that beautiful howl of the M14. And he's through the first start gate, banks hard to the left. He's flying tight. Oh, he overshot a little bit. Corrected that just in time. He got his wings level. He's pulling up into the vertical, 9 Gs. He is pressed into his seat. Now he's being pulled out of his seat, negative Gs, and then he rolls over, half roll on the top, pulls it back down through. He's got to get it through there, and he gets it through. Pulls straight up. As you can see, we've got some rain in the background, and this time he's pulling up. He's going a little bit wider this time, but he's going to trade all that altitude for airspeed. He's going to dive down the red and green rocket. Call it the Christmas rocket, Christmas colors today. Let's see if he can bring home the gifts. And he gets right through the whole pylons. No penalties so far. He's got the wings back level. He's trying to keep the plane straight as possible through the pylons, fighting the wind, fighting the turbulence that's on the course. He's pulling back up into the vertical, smoothly rolling it over from left to right. He's got those wings level. He's looking good now. He's looking serious. He's diving it right down. Oh, he's fighting it. Oh, did he get his wings level before he got through the pylons? The judges say yes. Boy, he is flying by the seat of his pants, and he's having the ride of his life. The red and green rocket now diving back down. Very compact, tight turn, and right through beautifully. Oleg Larionov, give us a victory roll. There it is. Now let's see if he bested his time from the first run. I'm almost absolutely sure and positive that he did. 116.5. Excellent run by Oleg Larionov on his second run. Good enough right now for second place. Okay, we have another interview, folks, with our pilot, Alexander Vasilyev, who just came off the course and set a record time, 59 seconds. So, Alexander, we give you a big congratulations for an incredible performance. The sky is great, the air is good. It's an interesting course. The final gate is really interesting. It's really challenging, but interesting. Flying over the forest and all the difficulties. It's really compact course, and we have to be very precise in our maneuvering. We have to count everything. We have to fly away from
и
the
при этом сохранять оптимальную
audience and the
траекторию.
viewers, we can't
Сегодня соревнуемся
fly
с девчонками, с
dangerously. We
женщинами.
have to
Первый
fly
раз впервые
carefully.
в мире.
Today, first time ever
Какие
in
ощущения?
the world, we have
Я очень
women
рад, что
in
у
the
нас
air
и
race.
девушки
I'm
начали
so happy we have
летать. Я
women
думаю,
flying in our
небольшое
air race.
будущее в этом
It's a
спорте.
really
Это очень
big
интересно.
perspective future for
Большое
them in our
спасибо,
sport.
Александр.
Thank
Всего
you so
хорошего.
much, Alexander. Thank you. As you can see, he's got a smile on his face. He knew he flew his perfect line. He said, again, he talked about how when you fly over the grass, the plane is behaving one way. It's smooth air. But once you get over the forest, you're getting different air currents. And so it's almost like a different track. You have your track over the grass and you have your track over the forest. And the air is different. The actual obstacles are different. Plus, we have a very close show line where the fans are, and we cannot go over them. We can't be near them. We have a buffer, a safety zone. Everything is in the name of safety. So this track is one of the most difficult tracks these pilots have ever flown in the last 3 years. It's the most compact. So again, here we go. We have a review of Oleg Larionov's first and second run on the course. As you can see there, he was fighting the wind. He was fighting the aircraft. He's fighting the elements. And again, he has only been flying the Yak-55 for not a long time. He's more comfortable in his Sukhoi 29, which is a much, much faster aircraft. And it's much more maneuverable. However, the Yak-55 is a much easier aircraft to fly on a compact track. Why? Well, because you have compact track, you have a very short distance between pylons, and you make tight maneuvering. So it might have a little bit less speed, but it is more maneuverable. It's easier to pull into the turns. So again, Oleg Larionov. Now our next competitor. There we go. It's Oleg Larionov. He's landed. He's back on the ground safely, and he's going to pass on his aircraft to the next pilot, to the next competitor. Everyone's sharing today. Sharing is caring when it comes to air racing. Friends share with friends, other airplanes. And we have our next competitor up in the air today. Ksenia Greenberg making her long-awaited Russian Air Race debut championship. Ksenia Greenberg coming to us from the Perm region. She's a winner of the Perm Regional Aerobatic Championship in 2018, winner of the Championship of Moscow Region in Aerobatics 2019 in the Yak-55, and winner of the Perm Regional Air Rally Championship in a Cessna 172, I apologize. She made her first flight in 2012. Her path to aviation was long and difficult, but she's been patient and she has been persistent. And during that time, she's mastered a Golf 100 aircraft, the Cessna 172, the Yak-52, and she's been training in the Sukhoi 29 with her safety pilot and instructor Vladimir Ilinsky, who's sitting in the back seat watching over his disciple today, and so proud of her, Ksenia Greenberg. She is a woman of so many talents. She's not only a great pilot, she's our PR queen, taking care of all of the Russian Air Race Championship PR. She takes care of everything, and she's just, her fingerprints are on every aspect of the Russian Air Race, and we're so glad that she's up in the air where she belongs. And now, long-awaited debut, Ksenia Greenberg. She has got the nose down, the prop is forward, the throttle's forward. She is locked in and ready to go in the Yak-52. First time in Russian Air Race and World Air Race history, women pilots flying today. Here she goes. She's diving down through the first gate, clean. She immediately makes a left bank, keeps that plane on a nice straight and level path. She pulls up into the vertical. There it is. She's pulling 6 to 8 Gs, showing the girls just want to have fun in a Yak-52 on the weekends. And then she rolls it nice and precisely over, saying herself, look at that wind is starting to blow now, and she puts it right through, closer to the right pylon, which puts her a little bit closer as she starts her turn to the home pylon. She's back through, she's banking, she's pulling back, she's feeling the G's, she is focused, she's diving back in, trading altitude for airspeed. She's got to get those wings level, Ksenia, and let's see if she did. Oh, a 5-second penalty. She did not get the wings level while she was coming into the start pylons, and then she flies through again. The wind is pushing her, but look at this. She's taking a very smart line right here. She's flying a little bit to the left, and then she's going to pull back to the left as she gets down, back on track, gets the plane down to the minimal altitude through the gates. Wings were leveled. Everything was good. She's looking good. She's pulling back up, setting herself up through her first ever time flying in the Russian Air Race Championship. And here she goes, 2 years of waiting, and comes down to this. And she's pulling through, and a time of 124.376 with a 5-second penalty. So here we go. She's going to continue to fly. Those nerves are getting to her, so she just wants to keep flying and get a little bit more experience. She's going to pull back up into the vertical. She's not wasting any time. She's not going to take a break between her first and second run. She wants to keep it going. She is focused. She's got the plane. She's flying a much cleaner and tighter line. Look at that. It's not about how many mistakes you make. It's how quickly you learn from them, clean them up, and do well. And she's pulling back up into the vertical. 90-degree bank, pulling G's, pulling back to the right. And now she's going to cool off the engine. She realizes that that was the end of her first run already, but she got a little bit extra work in there. That's a little bit clever right there. The rules don't say that you have to stop after the first run. You don't have to immediately climb back up. There's nothing in the rules that say you can't keep going, so that's what she's doing. She's getting herself as comfortable as possible on the course. So she climbs back up, no time to waste. She's going to cool off a little bit. She's going to get the engine temperatures cooled off and get her nerves calmed down after that first and exhilarating run. So here we go. We see the first run through, she was clean. She got the plane turned, set up for a nice line through the second run. A little bit pulled to the left. Now we're going to look at how she comes on the backside of the track. And you can see the wind is blowing her from left to right, but she carefully maneuvers it, keeps the plane level pitch. She is looking good for her first time. It is extreme, but right there is where she got her 5-second penalty. She was thinking so much about setting herself up, her line for the next pylon, that she got a little bit ahead of herself and set herself up a little early and didn't have her wings level, and that's a 5-second penalty. Again, this race is not only about flying fast, but it's about flying accurately. So here we go. She's ready to go. She's getting ready for her second run. First ever debut in the Russian Air Race Championship for Ksenia Greenberg, and she's got a long and illustrious career ahead of her. She's been waiting for this moment all her life, and she is ready to go. She's got her lights are on. She's giving a little bit of a wave to the crowd. She's diving down back in. The wind is definitely picked up between the start of this race and right now. So she's diving down back in. The F-14, 360 horsepower, and here she goes. She's minimal altitude, very nice through the first gates. Now she's ready through the second gates. Now she's pulling up. She's going to be a lot more aggressive this time. Now she feels more comfortable on the track. She's over the top after pulling 6 to 8 Gs. Now she rolls, half roll back on the down line. She's diving down back in, setting herself up perfectly for the next gate, and she beautifully, masterfully comes through the third gate, I apologize, and now she's going to reposition herself. Look at that. Beautiful climbing 180 repositioning turn, very smooth. Now she's diving down back in. From the perm region, Ksenia Greenberg, she's got to get it perfect right through. Boy, that was absolutely smooth as butter. Her second run is much better, and the conditions are even more difficult. She's back through. 46 seconds have already elapsed. She's through the second gate. She's pulling back through. She's rolling over the top smoothly, not to lose any airspeed, and she's diving down back in. She is focused, and she is ready to make a much better mark than her first time. Okay, now she pulls back up. Nice sweeping, climbing right, banking turn, pulling G's, trading altitude for airspeed. She's diving back down in this beautiful Yak 52. Listen to that growl. This is her final run for today. She sets her up a little bit right to let the wind blow her back to left, and she pulls through and gives us a victory roll, 119.399. Ksenia Greenberg, congratulations on your first Russian Air Race champion. Almost exactly 5-second improvement from first to second run. That is absolutely incredible. Ksenia Greenberg, you are amazing, and great flight today. Folks, this is an incredible historical day. And we have an interview with Mr. Oleg Larionov coming right up, who came off the track just before Ksenia Greenberg in the Yak 55. Let's hear from you, Oleg Larionov. Oleg Larionov, how'd you feel out there in the sky? Well, it was such a, I don't know how to say, but it's just such an incredible feeling of happiness to go through the pylons, to get so much. It's just, life is good when you're doing this, and it's difficult to express unless you've tried it. And you really, I encourage everyone to try aerobatics, and you get so much pleasure, and it's just incredible. So it's better than any mixed drink. It's better than anything. The airplane, and I can tell you that anyone can get into aerobatics from any age. You can start from young all the way to being a retired person. What do you think about our women flying in the race today? Of course, our girls are incredible. Good job. And we can show you that our girls, they come, Zhenya, Valentina, and Ksenia, they are courageous women, and they are very focused. And they need to really get themselves ready for this challenge. And they get so much adrenaline. And, you know, I'm so happy that women are participating in the Russian air race, because it doesn't matter, men, women, whoever flies the best. We want everyone to come and be a part of what we're doing. From another side, of course, it's wonderful when we have a huge group of pilots who want to be a part of what we're doing, and we're getting the next generation ready. So, one more question for you, Oleg. In the beginning of May, you were in the Great Victory Cup in Volgograd, and today, which course was difficult, today or 3 weeks ago? In Volgograd, I can say about Volgograd in 2 words, it was a very hospitable city, and they took care of us. But of course, there was a lot more space between the pylons in Volgograd, and it was a much bigger course. There was a lot less space on this course. But I can tell you right now that, and the turns and the pylons and all of the aspects, I liked Volgograd more because it was much easier to fly. It was much more open than today. But today was a lot of fun as well, a different challenge of a different kind. So Oleg Laranov, thank you for that interview, and we'll look back at Ksenia Greenberg's absolute record-setting run. She is the really amazing success story for the air race. She came into flying in 2012, a long-awaited debut for her in the Russian air races. She's been involved with the air races the last 2 years as our PR queen, and basically anything we need, any questions asked, anything connected to the air races, she's the one that answers, and she does it with grace, class, and style. But today, she put herself rightfully in the cockpit, overcame any fears and any nerves, and made a 5-second improvement from her first run to her second run, showing the girls just want to have fun on the weekends in Yak 52s. She spends most of her weekends either in Perm or in Moscow flying the Yak 52. And look at that precise roll, Victor at the end, showing us her skills as an aerobatic pilot, which she spends most of her time doing and competing. So, our next pilot on the track today, our champion from Volgograd Great Victory Cup Air Race, Sergey Gurov, and he is ready to go in the Yak 55 hangar 13. Here we go, he's through the first gate, perfect altitude, a lot of airspeed, and he's going to pull crushing 9 Gs through the vertical, rolls over, back on the downline. He's trying to catch up to Alexander Vasilyev, his buddy, and he found beautifully, masterfully. Just, a 5-second penalty. He cut it too close, and he did not get the wings level through that 4th and 5th gate. Now he's going to bring it back to, he went a little bit low, and another penalty. He went low and had to pull out, and he's pulled off the track, folks. That was the result. He was pushing the edge a little bit too hard there. He dived back down, but he didn't pull up in time to get the wings level, and he pulled through the pylons in a vertical climbing position. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. He was absolutely within safety, but he was not within the rules of pylons. So what does he have to do now? The time is still ticking. He has got to reposition and try again. So this first run is absolutely what we'll call a mulligan, when you just throw it away and say, do over, let's try again. So he's going to collect his thoughts. This is more mental than physical, folks. It's not only physically demanding. These pilots are extremely calculated, strategic, very intelligent, and have to make split-second decisions that mean the difference between flying safely, winning, and flying your best possible line. So what happened again, folks? 2 penalties. He's going to throw this run out, and all he has left is his second run. So let's look back again. It started promising. It started really good. But look at that. Look at that. He pulled up too late, and it caused him to get the wings level, and it caused him to incur a 10-second total penalty. So he's going to have to learn from his mistakes. Have a quick fish memory. Forget about those mistakes. Move forward and fly that best line. He is the champion in our last air race in Volgograd, and he's looking to get back on track and stay on the podium. Here we go. Smoke is on. He's ready to go. And let's see. This is intriguing, folks. He didn't even finish one full time through the track. So let's see. He's going to go back through and see if he can improve upon his mistakes. Here we go. Smoke is on. 400 horsepower. Pulling him through the sky. Beautifully through the first pylon. Very minimal turn. He's losing the rudder there. Did you see that? He kept the wings level. That's excellent tactic and flying. That's airmanship right there at its finest. He pulls through the vertical a little more carefully this time. He's got to be real careful. Wings are level. He's diving down for airspeed. Now he's got to get the aircraft absolutely low. Perfect through that gate. He's going to pull back. Not too hard this time. Climbing, turning, and he's pulling back down. Let's see how he comes through, and he gets it just in time. Perfect. Did he climb through that start gate? No, he didn't. Excellent. Now he's got the wings. He makes a hard left bank because he's got plenty of airspeed, but he's got to keep it in this compact track. He can't overfly it. And now he's going to, and folks, he's pulling off the track. Something happened. I don't know what's going on. This is shocking, folks. This is our champion from the last air race. And for some reason, he is what we call knocked off. He is knocked off. He has decided to pull out of the race and the track. I'm not sure why. We don't have any penalties assessed, but safety is the #1 priority. We'll see what's going on here, folks. There's always intrigue. There's always something. This is not just, these planes are, they're planes, they're mechanical. There could be a mechanical issue. There could be something, he doesn't feel something's right. So we're going to go to an interview while we wait to hear the news from Sergei Gurov. We have our next interview coming up. So Gurov is setting up, he's coming in for landing. He has been told to knock it off. For whatever reason, we are here from Ksenia Greenberg making her first. How was it? The sky was perfect. I loved it. What was the most different part? The most difficult part? Of course. You have to overcome your emotions. That's the greatest victory. You're nervous, you're worried, you have to overcome that. That's the most difficult obstacle in this whole air race. Thank you so much, Ksenia, and congratulations again. You can see that smile from ear to ear. She is so excited after waiting 2 years for this, really her whole life. And Sergei Gurov is safely back on the ground after an unsuccessful 2 runs on the track. He was flying on the edge. He was gunning to be the absolute champion today. He was holding nothing back. But aggressive flying does not always pay off and does not always bring the best results. So he's come to a stop, and so far he's stopped on the runway. And we'll see what happens next. So let's, again, look at a highlight of his 2 runs. So his second run, he comes through, and look at this. Almost no bank. He just uses the rudder on the tail to just horizontally move the aircraft and perfectly put himself through the second bank. But again, he made a mistake. He pulled up too late at the end. It did not come through the pylon cleanly, levelly. That was not to the judge's liking. And so you can see that somber look on his face. He is not happy. He came here today to win, to be the champion again, and he's going to go home today empty-handed. So that is the irony in this sport. One day you're the champion, the next day you don't make it through the course. And so this Air Race Championship, as I said before, folks, it's not just about flying fast. You have to fly precisely, perfectly, and you have to follow the exact rules that have been set up for safety. He's taxiing in, and again, inside, he is not happy with himself. But every time you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn from. So today, we're going to have a different champion than last year's race. Today, we have another exciting debut. We have another interview for Vladimir Anguladze, Yak 55 pilot. Today is the first time with women pilots during the air race. What do you think about this? You know, I'm just so, our wonderful other half women are amazing. They are just as good as us. They can fly aerobatics, air racing. They can do anything we can do. So everything's good. And we understand that, of course, what if they win today? What are you thinking? I mean, how would it make you feel as a man if the women win today? Well, Well, if a person flies well, if they fly worthy and they fly according to their skills, they have nothing to be ashamed of. It is all about having the will to win, having a good airplane that's flying, and I'm only happy for whoever wins, men or women. So, what tactic do you have for today's air race to fly? Well, we'll see. I'm gonna fly slow today, but carefully. Okay. What's the atmosphere of the Sky Festival here, Neba? I really enjoy it. I really like it. It's really interesting to. I've never been a part of this. I've never participated until today. And we want to do the most important. We want to make it interesting for the viewers. We want people to be inspired and have love toward aviation, toward aerobatics. And the more people that leave from this festival that are inspired by aviation to eventually become pilots and do something in aviation, then that is what we want. That is the goal of this festival. And that will be a huge victory for all of us when people walk away from this festival with love for aviation and more desire than ever to fly. So, beautiful words for Vladimir Angeladze, who's going to be flying today a little bit later. And today we have another debut of a pilot, Maxim Bugayov from, of course, he's going to come to us today in the Yak 55. It's his long-awaited debut in the Russian Air Race Championship. And he was carefully watching in Volgograd 3 weeks ago, and he is ready to try it out for himself. He's from Ivanovo, Russia, making his debut, Maxim Bugayov. Here we go, Maxim. Show us what you've got, and show us that you're ready to be here and stay here. And he's through the first pylon very precisely, flying very fast, very low, perfect line through the first and now through the second gate. And he's going to take a little bit of a climbing turn, not a vertical, not purely vertical, but you see he's got a little bit of an angle. So that's his tactic today. It's the first time we've seen someone do this. Very interesting. He brings it back in through the third gate. Clean run. Very nice, very smooth. Again, this is his first time on the track. First time ever competing in an air race, and he is flying absolutely wonderfully. And again, this is only his first run. He's got another run to go. So he's going to learn from this and try to improve. He's through, again, now what we would call the fifth gate, now the sixth gate. Clean. Oh, there. He hesitated a little bit before pulling back into the vertical. So he lost a little bit of time there. The goal is to go right through the pylon and immediately start your climbing turn to reposition yourself in as minimal time and radius as possible. Back through the sixth and seventh gate. Clean run so far for Maxim Bugayov. He's looking good as he makes his final turn back down through the start home pylon. And let's see what we have. 112.375, an excellent first flight, and he's going to roll it before he makes a second run on the course. Excellent work there, Maxim. Welcome to the Russian Air Race Championship and a clean debut. I mean, the irony of that, our champion from the last flight, Sergei Gurov, was not able to make it through 2 times on the track because of penalties. And yet Maxim Bugayov, makes his first debut, a rookie pilot, and masterfully flies gracefully through the course. So look at this. The wind is blowing him. He doesn't care. He brings it. Look at that. He's fighting it, but he got through wings level, nose level, and then begins his very, very minimal left banking turn. Again, the moment you start turning those wings, you create more drag and you take away from your airspeed. And so the name of the game is to turn as minimal as possible, setting yourself up before the next pylon, but also making sure that you get between that 25. Remember, 25 meters between these pylons, folks. There is not any room for making a mistake, or you'll hit them and incur, of course, a penalty. So he's climbed, cooled the engine temperatures off, calmed down his nerves. Let me tell you, that is an adrenaline rush. He might have looked cool on the course, but in that cockpit, the heart is pumping, the blood is pumping, and he is ready to go for his second run on the course today, seeing if he can best his time, keep it penalty-free as he did this first time, but go a little bit faster, push a little bit harder in the turns, pull back a little bit harder on the vertical, and see if he can't be a podium winner today in his first debut, Maxim Bugayayev. Here we go, he's through that sound of that engine, that whistle, it's good. He's through the first start gate looking good. He's keeping it level. Beautiful camera work here today. This time he's deciding to go with a traditional half loop repositioning, half roll turn. Okay, so this time he's got a lot more altitude than he did in his first run, but that means he can trade that altitude for airspeed and get a lot more speed. And he comes through very nice with the less. Oh, a 5-second penalty has been incurred. He pulled back a little too late and did not get level, so he took a risk there. He thought he could get a little extra speed, but that airspeed cost him in precision and cost him a 5-second penalty. And now he's back through the home start pylon, looking to try to make up as much time as possible. But at this point, his first run is going to be his best shot at his title today. Now it's all about getting experience and making sure that he learns from his mistakes before his next air race. He's diving down back in, already 59 seconds, and he's smoothing. He's accepted the bitter reality that this second run did not go as he wanted. He tried to push it, but he pushed it a little too far. Now he's coming back around. Oh, he's kind of overshot the pylon, and he pulls up very low and through the whole pylon. That is a 10-second total penalty. He's going to do a victory roll, but I can assure you he is not pleased with himself on that one. So 1:12.375 is going to be his best time. Not bad. Not bad for a first debut, Maxime. And he safely navigates this course for the first time. But again, his second run didn't work out as good. You know, normally your second run, that's your gold run. You figured out all the little mistakes you made on your first run, but there's that risk. When you come back at that second time, there's a risk. So let's look at the review. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so he starts off really good. The wings are level. Yeah, there's a little bit of turbulence, but look at that. He came into that pylon. He was still pulling up and getting ready, pulling out of the last diving repositioning turn and pulling back up into the next maneuver. You cannot do that. We have to fly. And look at that right there. Oh, that is just a dagger right there, folks. That's a dagger straight to the heart. He safely recovered from the maneuver, but could not get the airplane level before going through the pylon. Again, safety is the name of the game, and he's going to live to fly another day and hopefully learn from these mistakes. So while we look at him finishing his run, we have our next pilot on the course already ready to go. Folks, today, again, first time in history, air race history, we have women air racers competing amongst the men. It's whoever's the best pilot, and the girls today have absolutely shown that they are worthy and ready for flying. Today, we have a very, very special debut in the women's air race. And there we can see Vladimir Anguladze. He's starting his engine. He's ready to go. He's making sure that he has an advantage. He's watched all his buddies take the course, try different things, make different mistakes, and he's going to do his best to learn from their mistakes and improve upon them. Yevgenia Yevseeva, coming to us today from Moscow. She is a student pilot. She came to the Russian Air Race Project because of her absolute love from aviation. She was involved in civil aviation for many years, but that wasn't quite exciting enough for her. And so she believes that the Russian Air Race Championship is something that's going to open her horizons, give her a new level of adrenaline, a new level of skills. And she said, and I love what she said, it's important to feel the taste of victory. Win or lose, you have to take part in the real races to have a real taste of what it is and to experience what it is. And she absolutely, this is her first competition. She's not dreaming of victory. The most important thing for her is the process, the experience, to enjoy every moment and let it captivate her. So here she goes. She's got Vladimir Elinsky as her safety pilot in the back seat. She is diving down for her first air race ever. Let's go, Yevgenia. Show us what you've got. Representing Moscow. She's through the home pilot very, very precisely. Very nice left bank. Wings are back level. Very, very precisely. She's pulling up into the vertical. She's showing her absolute skill and masterful piloting skills as she rolls back over on the down line. Beautiful, beautiful first run. And she gets those wings. She's got it set up very nice, cleanly through the third gate. And she's pulling up gracefully, and that homesick angel, Yak 52, right over the top, just kicks that rudder over and dives back down beautifully. Boy, she is showing that she is out there to have fun. And let me tell you, her time is not that bad. She said she was not dreaming of victory, just to enjoy every moment of the process. But let me tell you, she looks really relaxed and really comfortable on the course today. She pulls back up over. Very nice, just smoothly over the top, rolls back over. Vitamin G is what she loves. She has a smile that's as bright as the California sun, and whenever she gets out of that cockpit, she can't wait to get back in. And she pulls through, penalty-free time so far. Very gracefully pulling back up, enjoying every moment, safely flying. She again is a student pilot, she's still learning, but she is making an excellent debut today at the Russian Air Race Championship. And through 126.440, give us a victory roll, Yevgenia. Absolutely fantastic first run on the course, but she's not done yet. The fun is only just begun. So here we go. We got another interview with our pilot who just came off the course. Sergey Gurov, what happened out there? What's going on in the air? Well, the air, everything's good in the air. Of course, the sun's not in your eyes. It's really, really bumpy air, very strong wind, and it really, really bursts of wind that are giving us difficult. And the most difficult on the boundary of the forest and the grass and the pylons, it's really, really unstable air. What was the most difficult race? What was the most difficult racetrack for here? And he says, well, you know, Volgograd was a much more difficult racetrack than here. So it was a much more difficult. So, Sergey, what do you think? I don't have any chances today for victory. I was disqualified for. I made a low fly. I made a, let's say, I made a low fly. There was a really strong gust of wind that hit me hard as I was coming through the home pylon. And in Volgograd, we had strong winds as well. And of course, every racetrack is different, and you can look at this track. It's very compact, and you can see where the pylons are situated at really close to the forest, and that creates really difficult wind patterns. And it's, to be honest with you, that is already difficult. Plus, the wind conditions today are more difficult. Plus, the track conditions. It's a very, very narrow trajectory and very small trajectory, so it's very difficult. So we have a lot working against us, and I just wasn't able to. I wasn't able to get through it today cleanly like I wanted, and I was disqualified, unfortunately. But live and learn. Well, thank you so much, Sergey, and we'll see you next time. Don't worry about it. So Yevgenia Yevseeva is back on her second run and final run for today in her Russian Air Race debut. She's a student pilot who loves aviation, loves going fast, and loves pulling vitamin G. Here she goes, pulling back through under the careful watch of her safety pilot, Mr. Vladimir Ilinsky. She's pulling through. Look at that beautiful 90-degree bank, climbing, repositioning turn, very gracefully diving down back in. As you can see, the Yak 52, it's not as fast, it's not as compact, but it is just as beautiful, and it's flying in the beautiful M14 360 horsepower engine powering it. And she's cleanly through already, halfway through this track for the second time. Absolutely no penalties. Look at this beautiful, graceful half loop over the top, minimal airspeed, roll back over, dive back down, and look at that, she's diving back down, fighting the wind. It's trying to blow her into the pylon, but she gracefully and precisely goes right through, pulling back up to the left, pulling back to the right. She is grinning ear to ear, I guarantee you right now. She is absorbing every moment of this air race and enjoying it, and she is absolutely ready to call herself a Russian air race participant. Congratulations, 130.026. Give us a victory roll, Yevgenia. You are historical. member of this Air Race Championship. 126.444, 440. Excellent. Almost 4-second improvement from her first run. Not bad at all. I'd say she was enjoying herself. So again, you can see the wind conditions, the weather conditions, plus the actual track layout are playing a big factor in today's race. As Sergei Gurev said, that you have the forest only 300 feet, 100 meters away from the pylon, the home start, and it creates difficult conditions. Okay, we have another interview coming up straight from one of our pilots, Maxim. Maxim Bugayev. How was the race course today? How do you feel? Very strong wind. It's really blowing us. And on the second time, I made some mistakes, but on my first time, I think I did okay. Today we have girls, and what's your impression? These girls traditionally fly very well. Of course, in aerobatics and in racing, and they are excellent. And if one of them wins today, I'm going to be only happy. This was your debut in the Russian air race. How do you feel? What emotions? You know, I'm just so glad to fly. The weather's pretty good. Thank you so much. So again, he had a good first run, but he made some mistakes in the second run. Let's go back and look at Yevgenia Yevseeva. Beautiful run into the track. Nice, precise left banking turn. Kept it very, very minimal movements and adjustments in between the pylons. Dived back down. Look at this. Masterfully through, but again, all these pilots, they're fighting the wind today. Now look at on that final run, but she got just in time. Look at that. She dived back down, but she got the wings level. She got the attitude of the airplane, the nose level, and beautifully, masterfully recovered in minimal time. Oh, look at that. Beautifully right through the home pylon and pulls up into the vertical for a victory roll. A well-deserved victory roll for Yevgenia Yevseeva in her first ever Air Race Championship, in the Russian Air Race Championship at the Moscow Aviation Restoration Cup 2022 at Festival Nieba Sky Festival. And our final competitor today, Mr. Vladimir Anguladze. He's diving down in. Look at that. He's got plenty of smash, lots of speed, almost 400 kilometers an hour. Boy, he is ready to go. He said he was going to fly slow. I don't know what slow you're talking about. If that's slow, you might be winning the race today as a slow pilot beautifully through the first two gates, pulls very graceful into the vertical, but very, very minimal altitude. So excellent repositioning, half loop with a half roll on the top. He's back down, he's got to get down. Did he keep it level? I don't know. He looked like he kind of just was descending in through that pylon, but the judges say no. They say it was clean. He's repositioned back around. Here's the most difficult part of the course between the forest and the pylons. The wind is blowing him, but he masterfully brings it in. Flies over Yevgenia as she's taxiing back. Very nice. She says hi to him, and he flies right through the pylons, pulls him to the vertical. No penalties. Boy, he's looking really good today, folks. I think he was being a little sly and not letting on to his tactics when he said he was going to fly slow today. I don't know any air race pilots that know the word slow. So here we go. He's back through between pylons 5 and 6. Again, he's got to be careful here. He's keeping the altitude low, but he's keeping a minimal radius turn. He's looking good. His altitude is good. The wings are level. He's back through it. Excellent time. Not good enough for first place, but certainly not last place. Oh, they've assessed a 5-second penalty, so the time gets bumped up to 1:13. I thought it was, and I'm pretty sure what happened is he came down with a lot of speed, and he was trying, again, to pull up at the last second to maintain as much speed as possible before having to level the plane off. But unfortunately, all that energy, all that motion, even when he pulled up, caused him, he was still descending. He was still coming down as he went through the pylon. And that is a no-no. The plane has to be in a level flight, as we see here. Yevgenia Yevseeva. The plane goes through level, directly level through the pylons, and Vladimir Anguladze was not able to do that. So let's, again, watch the highlights of his first run. Not a bad run, but a 5-second penalty. So there he goes. He goes through the first gate. Everything's good. Look at you got birds, but he's focused. Okay, so he flies through, and look at this. Look at this run. He's diving down, but he's got to get the plane level. And right there, it was good there. That was okay on the first time. So let's see where the penalty is. Here it is. He's diving down, but right there. It looks like he might have been level. Not quite sure where the judges saw something, so we'll see. He gets back on his line, his race line that he wants, and he goes through cleanly. Okay, let's see as he comes through the 5th and 6th gate. Right here, it looked clean. It looked clean. He seemed to recover, but for some reason, the judges gave a 5-second penalty. So again, second and final run of the day, our final competitor, Vladimir Anguladze. Here he goes. Smoke is on. He's ready to rock and roll. This is his second and final run of the day, and it's for all the marbles. Here we go. In the Yak 55, he pulls into the vertical, keeping the same line as before, keeping a half loop, now a half roll on the top, rolling back over, half Cuban 8. He's diving down back in, very carefully. He banks a little bit to the left, keeps the wings level, goes through. It looks like he's level, no penalties so far. Clean run, first time around. Now he's got to get back, repositioning turn. Remember, that's 8 to 9 Gs against his body, pressing him down. And he gets through the home pylon. Ooh, he's flying a little loose right there. Not quite as tight as he'd like. He's got to come back to the left. And he does cleanly, but he lost some time there. Okay, so now he's pulling back. He's trying to keep minimal radius turn, maximum Gs, maximum speed, rolling back over. The wind is blowing him. It's trying to keep him from becoming a champion today, but he is persevering. And he gets through the 6th pylon, pulls through 8 Gs, pulls through. Can he get it back? Is he going to overshoot? He's got to get it back in time. Let's see. And through. And he's through 106.10. And another penalty assessed 111.15. Vladimir Anguladze giving us 3 victory rolls. Having fun. So 111.4 is going to be his best time today. He was absolutely laying down a wonderful, wonderful, respectable time before the penalties. But again, these are master pilots. These are champion pilots, folks. But these wind conditions are absolutely brutal today. So let's see highlights from his second round. He brings it through. He's looking level there. Everything was looking good. Very minimal control inputs, keeping the plane straight, keeping it fast. He comes through the second gate. Everything was looking good. But then when he comes back down, look at that. Right there, he got a little bit off and went really wide between the first and second pylon, and that cost him time. Let's see where the penalty was assessed. Right so far, I don't see anything unusual. He brings it back down, rolls it over, sets himself up for the third pylon, and he comes through. He might have been a little high there. And look, on that home pylon, he recovered very carefully, but he may not have recovered in time and gotten wings level. So we'll see again. A very, very difficult approach on the last pylon. Okay, we've got one more interview coming up with you here. And okay, we're here with Vladimir Linsky, who was our safety pilot. And tell us about what you did today. I was the safety pilot in the Yak 52 for the women's, the first ever women's air race participation in the Russian air races. You're a very experienced pilot and instructor. What's the difference with the women pilots? Well, the most important thing is to keep them calm. Some of them were very nervous, and just help them calm down so they can achieve their best results. And they did really well. I'm very proud of them. They overcame. So, who of the women are going to win today? I think, in reality, they all raced well, and they went up against worthy competitors. So today, we're so glad to be with you, and we're going to show you and come to you live from Moscow and give a shout out to our sponsors, Stolato. We'll be back. Hold on. And welcome back to the Russian Air Race Championship. We have just completed the wonderful Moscow Aviation Repair Factory Cup at Neba Sky Festival, and here are our preliminary results. Number one, our champion today, Alexander Vasilyev, 59.704, followed by Vladimir Anguladze. Even though 5-second penalties on his run, he brought home second place, 111.415. Followed in third place, our bronze medalist, a debut for Maxim Bugayov from Ivanova, 112.375. Oleg Larionov in his first ever Russian air race in the Yak 55, 116.567, a very respectable finish. And our highest placing female pilot today, Ksenia Greenberg, in her Russian air race debut, 119.339er. And sixth place, Yevgenia Yevseyeva, 126.440, also making her debut as a student pilot, folks, who dreamed about getting into aviation. And number 7, Valentina Patsiluyeva from Ivanova, 150.669er. And again, a historical day. Our women did excellent. First time in a air race championship we have women pilots. It's the first, but it's certainly not the last. This is the start of a new era. And Ksenia Greenberg, she overcame her fears, her worries, her excitement. It's been a long road from Perm, 5th place, 119.339er, excuse me, in the Yak 52. Again, Alexander Vasilyev, our champion today, with a absolute blazing 59.74 seconds time. I called it earlier today. He was very focused yesterday and today. We talked. He looked like he was a man on a mission in that Homesick Angel in the Hangar 13 Yak 55, and he proved it. And he got back on the throne. He is our last year's champion, and now he is back in the hunt for our next air race, which will be August 21st and 22nd in Nizhny Novgorod. But for now, we thank you so much for joining us at the Russian Air Race Championship, the Moscow Aviation Repair Factory Cup at the Neba Sky Festival, located at beautiful Chorny Airfield. Thank you. Join us again. Follow us on Instagram. We thank you to our sponsors, the Ministry of Sport and Stolato. Thank you. And we'll see you next time at the Russian Air Race Championship. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And remember, we'll be waiting for you in the sky, in the air, and we love to hear your feedback and commentary on Instagram. So signing off from Chorny Airfield, I'm Lauren Harrison, your commentator. Glad to be with you. Congratulations to Alexander Vasilyev, our champion, and to all of our hero pilots that flew out there today and our women who were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Goodbye. See you next time.